Hey, hey, how are you, kids? What's going on? Another Monday, November. October, the best month of the year. Goes by like a week, doesn't it? Yes, it sure do. It sure do. And what makes it a great month? Oh, moments like this.
The 1-2 again. Inside corner. The Royals, 2015 World Champions.
Kudos, KC, huh? You Met fans, I don't know what to say, but I knew it was coming. Let's be honest. I mean, clearly the better team by a country mile. The Mets just, they got to be honest with you. Looking back on it, they melted under the spotlight. I mean, the defense was horrendous. It was like a Little League team out there. Murphy blowing that easy ground ball and Cespedes mistaking a baseball for a soccer ball. How many times did he kick the ball around in the outfield? Just horrendous play. David Wright made a throwing error, then Duda throwing home. What the fuck was that? It looked like my niece. Holy moly. They just folded under the pressure. That's what it looked like. KC just a better team. Head to toe. I mean, come on. 2 years in a row in the World Series. Outstanding, scary bullpen the Royals have. And everybody, 1 to 9... From 1 to 9 in that batting order can hit the shit out of the ball. They didn't care how hard the Mets pitchers were throwing. And I love that aggressive swinging at the first pitch. I wish my Sox would adapt to that. That's what happens, though. Baseball's like everything else. It goes in cycles. You'll see teams, the last 10 years it's been, take as many pitches as you can, work the count. But the Royals blew a hole in that, didn't they? Everybody can hit. Great defense, and like I said, their starters came through, and their bullpen is just frightening. And the Mets just, I mean, Murphy undid all his heroics from going from MVP of the NLCS to really a kind of a goat. Didn't hit, maybe made some big defensive mistakes, and I was happy for the Royals. I was conflicted. I was, come on, I live in New York, and like I said, I lived in Queens, became kind of a closet Mets fan, and they have been snake bitten. But after what they did to my Sox in '86, who gives a shit? So clearly, KC, the better team, clearly. But Mets, yeah, I think you got a bright future, man. So you got all these young, great pitchers, and that kid Conforto can hit the shit out of the ball. I wonder what happens to a guy like Murphy. I mean, after the National League Championship Series, you're like, this guy's going to write his own ticket. I think he's a free agent, but I don't know. I don't want guys who melt under the lights, and that's what I saw from him and a few other guys. David Wright, playing in pain with a bad back. He's much better offensively when he's in the groove and played the whole season. Had a big home run, but Jesus. That lineup, that KC lineup from beginning to end. That Escobar, love the way that guy swings at the first pitch. And Matt Harvey, last night, Matt Harvey was outstanding, but he insisted, strong-headedly insisted, Terry Collins was going to replace him, it looks like. But no, he insisted on going out there for the ninth. Can't blame him. They didn't lay a finger on him. But walks the first guy, I think. Next guy doubles. But then you're like, oh boy, here they come. As soon as they get Harvey out of there, here they come. And they steal bases. And was it Hosmer? Who scored on third? From third base. I think it was Hosmer. That unbelievable play. A good throw by Duda would have had him at the plate. It was a ground ball to right. He took a couple of crow steps. Hosmer just took a couple of crow steps with him. As soon as he released it, he headed for home. He would have been out by, easy if the throw was towards the plate, towards the third baseline. But Duda just threw it away. That's what I'm talking. That's El Choco, folks. El fucking Choco. But they're going to be happy for the Royals. I mean, 1985 was the last time. Again, not if you're a Mets fan, but I'm just saying if you're a baseball fan. I wouldn't. I had no dog in the fight, so I didn't care who won. And I just love playoff baseball. And it's what makes October so great. And I kind of wanted the series. I wanted the Mets to extend it, just because it's just great drama. And the Royals out, huh? Man, they're bringing these relief pitchers. They all throw 98, 99, and but it's amazing how the Royals offense can hit that type of heat. They were just, and like I said, defensively, they were just outstanding. That Zobrist, man, I'd like to get my hands on that guy. Not in a sexual way. I don't do that anymore. I only fuck guys in AAA. What? What the hell? What kind of talk was that? Oh, stop with that bullshit, will you? But Zobrist and Gordon, that guy Gordon, who they say is a free agent, and Joel Sherman mentioned the Red Sox are going to chase him, and you're like, why would they do that? The Sox have 11 outfielders, but they'd use him, they'd get him and use maybe Jackie Bradley, one of those. We have a ton of young outfielders who haven't really quite proved themselves, but they could be potential superstars, so we would use them to get some pitching. We'll see. That was Joel. I think Joel Sherman said that. Anyways, but KC, just clearly the better team. They came back against Toronto. That's the other thing. Doesn't matter how many runs they're down. And anyways, sorry Mets fans, but you know what? Like I said, I think the future's bright for you guys. You've had enough lean years, but F yous all. Go Red Sox, is what I say. I can't wait for a hot stove. The winter is just as exciting when you're in a big baseball market, whether it's L.A., New York, Chicago, Boston, St. Louis. The off season's just as exciting because you have that kind of money to make those moves, and especially since you came in last twice, Red Sox. Ay. Anyways, so that was pretty amazing, and I don't know why I'm opening with sports, but let's get it out of the way. Did you guys see the end of the Miami Duke football game? Holy Christ! You remember back in the day, was it Stanford? Remember when the band was on the field on the final kickoff, and it was Stanford and, I don't know, Washington. Doesn't matter. You remember the miracle play? The band was on the field, and they kept lateraling the ball and ended up scoring, and the band member got run over in the end zone. I think it was a Stanford game. Doesn't really matter, but it was world famous. You can look it up on the internet. Well, anyway, something happened similar this weekend. Miami-Duke game. Duke was up by 3 points. They kick off at the end of the game. Miami does one of those 8 laterals. 8 laterals. They kept throwing them back. And you can't lateral forward, by the way. And ended up scoring on a play that lasted forever. Again, very similar to the other miracle play. And turns out the referees blew like 4 calls on that final play, even though Miami was awarded the win. ACC suspends officials from the Miami-Duke game. The touchdown should not have counted. That's the headlines today. ACC's not overturning the result of the game. But the league has suspended both the on-field officiating crew and the 2 replay booth officials for 2 games. Too bad government didn't work like that, huh? Anytime one of these idiots fucked up, you could just, you know who I'm talking about. The ACC determined that a Miami player's knee was down before releasing one of the 8 laterals that allowed the play to happen. It was apparent both on video and in still pictures. That would have ended the game right there if it was called properly. The ACC also said the official should have called an illegal block during the, block in the back, during the return at the Miami 16-yard line, which would have given the Hurricanes an untimed down at their own 8-yard line. And then the ACC also said Miami should have been penalized for player leaving the bench and entering the field of play during a return. Jesus Christ, what were the refs doing? Fucking smoking weed on the sideline? Where were they? The league said the flag for a block in the back that was picked up, initially negating Miami's touchdown before officials conferred, was called correctly, but the referees didn't properly communicate why the decision was made. So the crew members, I won't mention their names, but they've all been suspended. Despite the acknowledgement that mistakes were made, the loss will stand for Duke. Isn't that silly? Then why have replay and all that shit? We have proof that you guys really won, but fuck it. We don't have a process that can overturn it. Yeah, despite the acknowledgement mistakes were made, the loss is going to stand for Duke. And which is kind of silly when you think about it, isn't it? With all the replay reviews and shit. Which, by the way, I'll say it one more time. I used to be for that type of stuff. I was for replay because I used to see teams losing on plays that shouldn't have. But you know what? I was wrong. The big fear was, well, if you bring replay into it, whether it's any sport, you're going to slow down the telecast, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, come on. How long does it take to look at a replay? But sure enough, like any meddling bureaucracy, they can't fucking do that right either. College football, every 3 minutes is a review. Pro football, they review everything. A guy runs into the end zone untouched. All touchdowns are reviewed. Even then, yes. It's like when you go to a liquor store now. I'm 53 years old, and I get an 18-year-old kid going, I got to see your ID. Why? Because we have to ID everybody. Not an ounce of fucking common sense. Just silly. Get rid of all replay. I'd rather watch a team lose because of human error than have to take 5.5 hours to watch a NFL game or college or baseball, whatever. Get rid of it all. Get rid of it all. That's what I say. I'm in a hurry. I got shit to do. I got to drive to Timonium, Maryland this Thursday to do Magoobies. That's right. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Come see me. It's right outside of Baltimore. Great club, by the way. Done it many times. Will this part of my life ever stop? I don't think so. I'll be 106 telling fucking dick jokes to bachelorette parties. But that's what I signed up for. My fucking sister's tits I did. Coke. Anyways. What the hell else? Some unbelievable games. Did you see, who else? What happened? There was another game. Was it Michigan? Last play of the game. Who's Michigan playing? I should do my research. Oh, I don't know. It came down to the final play. I don't know. There was a bunch of good thing I don't know sports for a living. Who the hell did Michigan play? Who was it? Let me think for a second. It was unbelievable. Came down to last play. They tried a quarterback sneak. Didn't get in. Temple, Notre Dame. That was another doozy. Another close one. That's all I can remember, folks. It's hard on 2 minutes sleep. Let's get to the debate. I got a lot of shit to get to. The debates. Anybody see that travesty on CNBC? I'm sure if you're into politics, you've heard or talked about it, but I do this show so you people who have a living and work and you have busy lives, I can, kind of recap what you missed. But it was beautiful. It was on CNBC. All you're going to hear is NBC, those letters in a network's name, and it's just a liberal bias fuck. And it turned out just what it was. The moderators were so biased and left-leaning and stupid and unprepared. But it was beautiful because guys like Ted Cruz and Rubio and Chris Christie, everybody up there actually, it seemed, called them out and exposed them for the left-leaning fucking hacks that they are. And it was just beautiful, the whole nation to see. Because you got to remember, you get Trump involved, that means the ratings are through the roof. A lot of nimwits into politics might even tune in to see Trump. So again, CNBC got their high ratings, but they were also exposed for the left-leaning fucking hacks. It's no news to people who follow politics, but it was beautiful to see them called on it in front of a national TV audience. It was just friggin' beautiful. Let me start with the moderators. Just listen to some of the questions. And the first one they open with is, what's your weakness? In other words, they might as well have said, why are you inferior to the Democrats? Two candidates. Tell us why you suck and you could never run the country. They tipped their hand just for the opening question, asking them to say, what's your weakness? Luckily, they didn't fall for that trap. But listen to some of the questions from the jerk-off moderators at CNBC.
Is this a comic book version of a presidential campaign?
The Sun Sentinel says Rubio should resign, not rip us off. When they say you act like you hate your job, do you? Do you hate your job?
You've had issues. You have a lack of bookkeeping skills.
Is that why you're having a difficult time in this role?
Does that not speak to your vetting process or judgment in any way?
That's what I would have replied. That's what I would have opened with. Did you hear those questions? Not even hiding, not even trying to pretend to be unbiased. Oh, my goodness gracious Heloise. And then my boy Teddy Cruz, who took a play out of Newt Gingrich's. Remember Newt Gingrich? I think when he was running, was it Obama's second term? I don't know. But remember Newt called. He said he was appalled at the first question during the debates. Anyways, Ted Cruz kind of was the first one to call these jagoffs on their media bias.
The questions that have been asked so far in this debate illustrate why the American people don't trust the media. This is not a cage match. Donald Trump, are you a comic book villain? Ben Carson, can you do math? John Kasich, will you insult two people over here? Marco Rubio, why don't you resign? Jeb Bush, why have your numbers fallen? How about talking about the substantive issues people care about?
No, 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 not this fucking time, no fucking way, no fucking way, no fucking way, no fucking way, mate.
That was beautiful, wasn't it, by Cruz, though, just to turn the tables. And he did it beautifully, just by almost repeating. He's got that type of memory. But he was just the first. I don't even know if he was the first to call him. I think he was. But he wasn't the last. It was just unfucking believable. His, this guy, Harwood. Oh, what a jagoff. He writes for the New York Times. Who would have guessed? He was the most pompous ass. Here he is. This is what he asked Trump. Just listen.
Mr. Trump. Yes. You've done very well in this campaign so far by promising to build a wall and make another country pay for it. Right. Send 11 million people out of the country. Cut taxes $10 trillion without increasing the deficit. Right. And make Americans better off because your greatness would replace the stupidity and incompetence of others. That's right. Let's be honest. Is this a comic book version of a presidential campaign?
It's not a comic book, and it's not a very nicely asked question.
Trump should have come back with a
Problem? You're the fucking problem. You fucking Dr. White, onking jamrag, arcing spunk bubble. I'm telling you, H, you keep looking at me, I'm going to put you in the fucking ground. I promise you. Not this time.
H for Harwood. You fucking believe that? What a pompous asshole. That guy, I did Gutfeld show Saturday. You might have seen it last night. They showed it on Sunday. But I said that. Maybe they got big ratings for their network and shit, but who's going to take that jack off, even in these days where half the country falls for this shit? Who's going to take him serious? I'd take Brian Williams more serious than this Harwood guy. What a fucking pompous, bloated chooch. Oh, just a real jack off. And then Rubio actually later on owned this Harwood guy.
Sun Sentinel says Rubio should resign, not rip us off. When they say Floridians sent you to Washington to do a job, when they say you act like you hate your job, do you?
Yeah, let me say, I read that editorial today with a great amusement. It's actually evidence of the bias that exists in the American media today.
But do you hate your job?
Let me answer your question on the Sun Sentinel editorial today. Back in 2004, one of my predecessors to the Senate by the name of Bob Graham, a Democrat, ran for president, missing over 30% of his votes. I don't recall them calling for his resignation.
Is that the standard?
Later that year, in 2004, John Kerry ran for president, missing close to 60 to 70% of his votes. I don't recall the Sun... In fact, the Sun Sentinel endorsed him. In 2008, Barack Obama missed 60 or 70% of his votes, and the same newspaper endorsed him again. So this is another example of the double standard that exists in this country between the mainstream media and the conservative media.
John, could I...
Excuse me.
Fucking owned, bitch. Oh, yeah, Mr. Harwood. What a... boy, and Becky Quick. Was that her name? I might be making it up. She pulled up some shit on Trump, and that was actually true. Something Trump said about Rubio having his own personal senator, and Trump just denied it. And she goes, "Well, where did I read that?" She actually apologized to Trump. Trump says, "You people write this stuff," and she actually turns out she was right, but she didn't even. That's how unprepared. She didn't have it, cataloged where she got it from. I mean, they were just hacks, and this isn't just coming from guys like me who lean right. Even those Dems in the paper. Some guy in the New York Post, some bigwig Democrat, they wouldn't mention his name, but said how horribly biased it was. So maybe we're finally making some friggin' headway. Honest to God, if the fucking left didn't have the media in their pocket, I swear to God, liberalism would have been gone away a long time ago. But they're keeping the lies alive. And I don't mean to be that political, but I can't help it. It's election season. This is a big one, and what are we gonna do? Well, we got race problems, and like I said, a lot of them had a shot. Here's Chris Christie's turn at taking a whack at the fucking idiot media. Somebody brought up about fantasy football. Should it be regulated? That was an actual question during a debate, and Chris Christie was flummoxed, and here's his reply to that.
Wait a second. We have $19 trillion in debt. We have people out of work. We have ISIS and Al Qaeda attacking us, and we're talking about fantasy football? Can we stop?
I'll tell you what was embarrassing about that. Bush, Jeb is like, by the way, my fantasy team is 7-0, which was kind of a turnoff to me. It's like, really? You're running for the most important job on the planet, and you get time to play fantasy football? Last time I checked, the gross national product goes down like 0.2 every time it's football season because of fantasy leagues. And Jeb Bush is up there bragging that he's 7-0. But I thought Christie turned around beautifully. And then Christie got into it with Howard again and turned the tables on him again about climate change. Here we go.
I want to go back, if I may, to
Governor Christie, you've said something that many in your party do not believe, which is that climate change is undeniable, that human activity contributes to it. And you said, quote, the question is, what do we do to deal with it? So what do we do?
Well, first off, what we don't do is do what Hillary Clinton and John Kerry and Barack Obama want us to do, which is their solution for everything. Put more taxes on it, give more money to Washington, D.C., and then they'll fix it. Well, there's no evidence that they can fix anything in Washington, D.C.
What should we do?
What we should do is to be investing in all types of energy, John. All types of energy. And I've laid out...
Meaning government?
No. John, do you want me to answer? You want to answer? Because I got to tell you the truth. Even in New Jersey, what you're doing is called rude. So,
even the fellow moderators are laughing. Christie, I don't know. I always looked at him as kind of a rhino. Anybody who's considered, come on, it's New Jersey. How conservative can you be or whatever? But he's winning me over in these debates. With he can really turn a phrase, and he's a good debater, man, and he's smart, and he really does hate some of these people. And it was funny because he was on, I think, the O'Reilly Factor the next night or whatever, and O'Reilly was like, yeah, but NBC is, they're supposed to be objective and neutral, and so is the CNBC, which is an arm. They're supposed to be objective and and Christie just looked at Bill O'Reilly and went, uh-huh. With the most sarcastic look in his eye. And I'm like, this guy's good in a pissing match. Yeah, so he's earning some points with me. I don't know if he's going to, score enough points with the public because he's been polling, horribly. But it's not just people get obsessed with these polls, If you look years past, there's people that were doing well at this point in the race who just ended up imploding. So you can't weigh, you can't. It's not all about the polls. It's a little bit of an indicator, but yeah, Christie had me fucking belly laughing. No pun intended. So the media took a pounding. I mean, how biased the questions were, and just. They really took a pounding, and I guess there was going to be another debate on an NBC network that the Republican National Committee has pulled out of. So we're not doing it anymore. You're going to treat us like that? Go fuck yourself. Imagine that. And it really is. You can't overstate the importance because we are such a media-driven society. People don't realize how much it influences opinion, and I mean, it's really, really friggin' important, and we can't find a network to have, to have like a fair debate. Because the left has had it for so long, and they're just used to it. But now, I think they've been exposed a little bit, hopefully. But, and it wasn't over with taking on the media in this debate. Marco Rubio, who is unbelievably impressive in these debates, and he got into it with Jeb. I couldn't pull the clip. It was too long or some shit. But he got into it with Jeb Bush. Jeb was busting Rubio's balls about not showing up because he's a senator, and he's been busy campaigning for president, so he hasn't been showing up for votes in the Florida Senate. And Jeb Bush was taking him to task for that, saying, what is this, a French work week? You got to show up or resign and give it to somebody else. Blah 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 blah. And Jeb Bush pointed out that some paper, the Sentinel in Florida, even called Rubio on him missing all these votes, and then Jeb Bush was just Rubio was just waiting for that and turned it around and said, you said you were going to style your campaign after like John McCain, because McCain, back when he ran, was doing horrible in the polls, and he just put his head down and he said, you were going to do that? And then you know how many votes McCain showed up for? Hardly any. And then he brought up Barack Obama and John Kerry. He turned it around on Jeb Bush. He goes, the only reason that you're saying that now is because you and I are going after the same job, and somebody told you it would help you to go after me in this debate. He turned it around. Jeb Bush was sitting there with egg and shit on his big fucking face. He looked like a dope. Oh, my God. It was like batting practice. Rubio's eyes lit up like a fastball down the middle and just drove it. I think Jeb Bush just put the spike in his own heart right there. I mean, he showed no political savvy there. Just walked right into it like stepping on a rake right in the fucking head. Jeb just nailed him. And, Rubio nailed him and just made him look like an ass. I think he's going to be in deep doo-doo. He needed like a big performance, Jeb, because he's been doing horrible. Guy spent more money than almost anybody, and he needed a big performance and came out and he was like Daniel Murphy booting that ground ball. Just shit his pants in a clutch situation. It was a clutch situation. It was a dangerous situation. But friggin' Rubio, man, that guy, it's tricky because he's a politician, and in a year where it seems like everybody wants an outsider, Trump is still doing well in the polls, not as well as he was. Carson has overrun him, by the way, Doc Carson, who needs to brush up on his economics and maybe do a couple of bumps of coke in the green room. He does, Trump always brings up energy, and it's true. I like Carson, but, he's winning amongst women. He's beating Trump, So that's got to be a little bit of a shock for Trump. Trump sat back, kind of played it mellow. Maybe he was humbled by the fact that he's not winning all these polls now. But he just sat back and picked his spots. At the closing statement at the end, he goes, I'm the one who negotiated. They wanted this to be 3.5 hours. I said, no, it's going to be 2 hours so we can get the hell out of here. And everybody applauded. And that jerk-off John Harwood even argued that point. That's not true, he goes. Everybody knew the debate was always meant to be 2 hours. This is at the very end of the debate. Oh, my God. What a fucking jagoff this guy is. Him and Brian Williams ought to get a fake room in a fake city during a fake war. Yeah, so it was fun. It was fun if you were, a righty watching the media being called on this horseshit. Just unbelievable. Unbelievably corrupt. So I would say I thought Cruz is going to make a move. I know you're out there laughing, but I want somebody really conservative. He's been fighting Obama tooth and nail. I mean, since Obama got into... He's the most consistent. They say he's the smartest one. And you got, like, smart libs saying that about how smart Ted Cruz is. And he's raising a ton of money quietly. And he hasn't really had his day in the sun yet. So, I don't know. Again, he brings up the religious shit, and that scares a lot of people. I don't know, but I just want somebody way right to balance off the horse shit of the last 8 years, 7.5, 8 years. You know? And he might be he's got to have his day. You know, I don't know if he's going to be the nominee, but... And then we had, who else was up there? Carly Fiorina, who's very eloquent, but she better check her facts. She get called again. Remember last time she got called on something that wasn't exactly true about Planned Parenthood? It wasn't a big thing, but she get called on something else, saying something about the first year of Obama's administration, like, was the worst on record for women in jobs. And yeah, she said 92% of the jobs lost during Obama's first term belonged to women, which wasn't exactly true. But she recanted that on the Sunday morning shows. But then you have, get this, then you have brain fucking dead libs like Joy Behar, who I know personally. I've pretended to like her for a long time. I can't take it anymore. But The View, her and Whoopi and this girl, Michelle Collins, is it? I guess Michelle Collins. I don't know. Watch the fucking show. But they were making fun of Carly Fiorina's face, saying that she almost looked demented. Carly, during the debate, they asked her, you know, at the opening question, what are your weaknesses? And she said, well, I was told I should smile more. So she smiled into the camera. And, yeah, The View. Can you imagine a show with hot pieces of pussy like Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar making fun of another woman's face? Are you fucking kidding me? Have you ever seen the cast of The View? You ever see their faces? Last time I saw faces like that, it was like the starting gates at the Preakness. Oh, my God. Joy Behar. Hey, American Pharaoh called. Wants his face back. God, Jesus.
Hello. I'm Mr. Ed.
That's right. Talking horse or whores.
A horse, of course. And
hello, Joy. Hello, Michelle.
The horse is the famous Mr. Ed.
And I'm Whoopi. She's a piece of ass, huh?
And ask the horse. He'll give you the answer that you endorse. He's always on a steady course. Talk to Mr. Ed.
Joy Behar. Yeah, she said, oh, I would like a Halloween mask that looked like Carly Fiorina. Can you imagine? Joy, have you looked in the fucking mirror? Holy Christ. Somebody throw Joy a carrot and a sugar cube. How to be feminists. How to be, huh? There's some real feminists making fun of another woman who, by the way, has done more and achieved more and is smarter than all fucking 8 of those nitwits or whoever sat in those seats combined. That one really, I couldn't ignore that one. That one made me friggin' laugh. Oh, by the way, I remembered who the Michigan game, it was Minnesota. University of Minnesota. Yeah, it came down to they tried a quarterback sneak. The clock was running down on 1 yard line. If they went in, they would have fucking won. And Michigan stopped them. There were a lot of great games. And Temple and Notre Dame was another nail biter, I think. That was my costume, by the way, my Halloween. I went out trick-or-treating. I had Bill Cosby. I had a Bill Cosby mask on. And one of those things, bartenders, they shake cocktails, and I had that. And a prescription for Vicodin. Anyways, you don't believe me? I got pictures. So, Carly Fiorina, yeah, she's basically telling those. She said some interview, today or yesterday. Yeah, she goes, I'd like to see if they'd say that to my face. Yes, sir. And who did I forget? Ben Carson, again, a little iffy with his tax policy and shit. He doesn't sound very sure of himself, but the guy's brain is like a sponge. But he's leading in Iowa and a few other places. And nobody even mentions that. It's not even mentioned, which is a good sign that a black guy is, Iowa is the heartland, supposedly, of this white racist country, this horribly racist country where millions of black and brown people have been trying to sneak into for the last 30 years. That's how racist it is. And, You know, we have a black guy who's leading in the polls and has a good shot of being the nominee. And on the other side, you have that fucking witch. What's her name? Hillary. What else, kids? What the hell else? Let's talk about dick cheese. That would be Quentin Tarantino. That, speaking of liberal fucking dopes, you know, you stay in Hollywood long enough, you will become retarded. I think he's actually from out there, isn't he? Wasn't he born out there? Doesn't matter. Anyways, he showed up 4 days after that last NYPD cop, Randolph Holder, was killed. Tarantino shows up at a Black Lives Matter rally here in New York and refers to the cops as murderers. And he's listing the Michael Brown thing. Shit that's already been disproven, that's been based on fucking lies. He's up there reading off a script. And I think we all know why he's doing this. Well, a couple reasons, in my opinion. He's got a movie coming out at the end of the year called The Hateful Eight. And, of course, that has Samuel L. Jackson in it, and who doesn't like Whitey? We know that. And who else is it? Kurt Russell's in it, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Walton Goggins, whoever that is, Michael Madsen, Bruce Dern. It was the film was announced in November of 2013, but the script was leaked in January of 2014. So Quentin decided to cancel the movie and publish the script as a novel, but then he changed his mind after doing a live reading at United Artists in L.A., and he's going to do the film, and it's due out at the end of this year, around Christmas, I think. Anyways, he was a Black Lives Matter. By the way, this is the plot of this movie. In post-Civil War Wyoming, John the Hangman Ruth, that's Kurt Russell, is escorting fugitive Daisy, the prisoner Demerg, that's Jennifer Jason Leigh, to Red Rock, where the latter will face justice for murder. They encounter another bounty hunter named Major Marquis, the bounty hunter. That's Samuel L. Jackson, and Chris the Sheriff Mannix, that's Goggins, whatever the fuck. I don't want. But Michael Madsen's in it, who I love. But the point being, he's calling the cops murderers, so I'm not gonna go see it. You know what? And all these cops' unions fucking taking him to task. And even his old man, who he's estranged from, came out in an interview and said that his son is wrong about the cops. Do you know Tarantino's got relatives who are cops in New York? And Tarantino's old man was mentioning how, you know, some of his relatives have actually been shot as cops, and how his son was just dead fucking wrong about all this. And you know, again, my theory, I think like Harvey Weinstein, when he saw what Tarantino was doing at the Black Lives Matter, he must have shit his pants and said, how do we put a smiley face on? He probably called Tarantino's old man to, you know, so they could kind of split the difference, good and bad, whatever. I don't know. That's just a theory. But yeah, his old man said he was way out of line with this. But then at the end of the interview, I guess you can expect it because it's his father. His father goes, go see the movie on whatever, December or whatever the fuck. He plugs the movie. Kind of undermining what he just said. Why should we support this dick cheese? But I have a theory about why he's out there. Like I said, a two-pronged theory. Obviously, look at it. We're talking about him, right? Couple months before the movie comes out, we're all talking about him. Marketing ploy, although this wasn't the most positive, I don't think. You know, if he had any brains, first of all, he wouldn't have agreed to speak at this thing anyway. But secondly, what, does he not follow the news? Yeah, 4 days after a New York cop is murdered. Yeah, I'm going to go there and call the cops murderers? Yeah, that ought to help ticket sales. But then again, in this country, and the direction we're headed, and so many stupid people buying into the fucking media's horseshit. But I think my other theory is Tarantino, remember he was catching some heat after, Django Unchained, for all the times he uses N-words in his films, and, Pulp Fiction, and, you guys all remember, scenes like this are the reason he was catching some flack from the black community and black leaders. So I think he's trying to maybe cover his ass, get publicity for the film, and maybe try to repair maybe some damage to his reputation for scenes like this.
But you know what's on my mind right now? It ain't the coffee in my kitchen. It's the dead nigger in my garage.
Oh, Jimmy, don't even worry about it.
No, look at me. Don't think about anything. I want to ask you a question. When you came pulling in here, did you notice a sign out in the front of my house that said dead nigger storage?
Jimmy, you know I ain't seen no shit.
Did you notice a sign in the front of my house that said dead nigger storage?
No, I didn't.
You know why you didn't see that sign?
Why?
Because it ain't there, because storing dead niggers ain't my fucking business. That's why.
Ooh. Well, under Hollywood liberal rules, if you use that type of language, you're racist. I happen to believe you can say racist shit and not be a racist, but seeing how as you're hell-bent on saying just the opposite... So I think it had a two-pronged, he was doing this for a couple of reasons. One of them backfired, and this one he was trying to cover his ass. But then Jamie Foxx came out and had a comment, Jamie, nobody hates Whitey more than Jamie. And he said today in the paper, that's right, Tarantino, keep telling the truth out there. So he's defending Quentin Tarantino, which makes sense because he is a actor in Hollywood, and Quentin has used him, and... Why not be on Tarantino's side if he can help your career, even if you're selling out your dignity. And I love Pulp Fiction. And Inglourious Bastards and, But, like I said, you spend enough time in Hollywood, you'll become fucking brain dead. Duh. His old man pretty much said that. It's even more appalling when you realize he's got relatives who are cops in New York. Big stones on this guy, huh? His old man, I saw the interview. It was like on Skype. He looks like he's, I don't know, probably 70 or whatever, and he's got pitch black hair. The Hateful Eight. Yeah, so bunch of heads of police unions all over the country saying fuck him and fuck his movie and don't provide security for him. That's the other thing about these hypocrite jerk-offs. They all have security. Guys carry all these people that are so anti-gun, pro-gun control all have bodyguards in Washington or Hollywood. They all have people protecting their homes with guns. And you're just walking fucking hypocrites about everything. You really are. Ass cheese. This is a good picture of Carly Fiorina. Oh, I must be getting old. I don't think she's that bad looking. Maybe I'll head down to the Rite Aid, get my fucking glasses checked. At this point, I'll do anybody. But listen. Yeah, it was Michigan, Minnesota. And, Notre Dame and Temple. I've watched so much of these folks. They all blend in now after 40-something years. I don't even remember. I know Notre Dame won. I can't remember if it was close at the end or not. I don't think so. I don't know. But Temple was undefeated going into that game. Oh, something did happen the Notre Dame. Brian Kelly is their coach. He's a guy that grew up in Chelsea, Mass., which is a rough town. He went to high school at St. John's Prep, which is in my hometown. They were our arch rival. It was our opening game every year when I was in high school. And I know we might have played against each other. He's a little younger than me. Anyways, he's got a wicked Irish temper. He's been trying to tone it down the last couple of years, but his first year, every time a quarterback would come to the sideline, he'd grab him by the face, and I mean just spitting and screaming. And he said he was going to try to tone it down. But they cut to him on the sideline near the end of the game. And one of his assistant coaches, I don't know what this guy looked young to be an assistant coach. I don't know if it was a player who was injured. He was in street clothes. I think it was a coach. I don't know. But the coach was trying to berate the referee. And fucking Kelly comes running over. The head coach grabs the guy by the neck, the scruff of the neck. That'll probably turn into a Black Lives Matter thing. And, yeah, it was crazy. A couple coaches had to jump in. And I'm talking about a guy, a white guy in his 50s. And it's fucking crazy how excited this guy gets. I guess his point being, he's like, I'm the head coach. If we're going to catch a flag on the play for berating the refs, that's my choice. Don't fuck it up for me. But it was pretty interesting. They showed it in slow motion a couple times. That's what I love about sports. Drama. I was sitting there this weekend, again, recording all the games and watching them late when I come home, and just sitting there going, God, what are women and gay guys doing this week? What the hell could they be watching? I can hear the people already. Like gay people don't like sports. Oh, shut up. Yeah, I just said it. Just the drama. You like drama? Don't go to fucking Les Mis. Watch Michigan, Minnesota, Purdue, Nebraska. Just watch one of these games. Or watch a World Series. You can't write this shit. You want drama? Huh? Fuck Broadway. Les Mis about some little dirty French whore who grew up poor. I don't even know the story. I've seen it twice. I'm just saying. There's nothing like real life drama. How people fucking can't. I don't know. My wife just sits there. I mean, when the Red Sox came back in 2004 and did what no team has ever done against the Yankees in the ALCS, she was sitting right there when the Red Sox fucking clinched that series. I might as well have been watching a fucking Sesame Street rerun. She just looking at me with these blank eyes. I mean, it could have been like Kennedy getting assassinated. What the fuck? Really? No feeling? Nothing? I'm going to grab her by her fucking neck. You can't be happy for me? She's reading some fucking manual like how to put a table together from IKEA. I'm over there jerking off in my recliner because the Sox is just something that hadn't been done in fucking 86 years. Excuse me for getting excited. You really? She's going, I'm going to make a sandwich. Would you like it? What the fuck? Just crazy. I go, that doesn't excite you? I go, they just did something they haven't done. They haven't won the certain, I don't know how many years, 86 or whatever the fuck. That does nothing for you. She's just like,
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, not this fucking time. No fucking way, no fucking way. No fucking way, no fucking way, mate.
I caught some of that this weekend. I was on HBO. That's for you people who haven't seen Sexy Beast. Ben Kingsley. It's one of my favorite movies. He plays this scary little psycho, and it's graphic and bloody and violent, and you really enjoy it. I don't know if he get an Oscar nod for that. He must have. Oh my God, was he fucking scary in that? But what the hell else, kids? Debates. Tarantino, the Mamalook. Got a clip of him. I didn't even play it. A little disorganized. Sorry, kids. I got a clip of him at that rally. Let me play it for you. This friggin' dope.
I'm doing here because I am a human being with a conscience. And when I see murder, I cannot stand by. And I have to call the murdered, and I have to call the murderers the murderers.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, not this fucking time. No fucking way, no fucking way. No fucking way, no fucking way, mate.
What a Mamalook. He made me look like a Mamalook. I want Mamalook, the Mamalook of the year. Fred Thompson died, by the way. The guy's always pushing reverse mortgages and whatever. It's so funny. He's always pushing that shit. And every time I saw those commercials, I go, he must know what he's talking about because I don't know, he's going to be dead soon. I swear to God, I had that thought every time I saw him. It's like, I thought he was in his 80s, though. He's in like 72, 73. You know who he is, right? The politician from Tennessee, went out to Hollywood and did a few movies, Law and Order, did Law and Order, or one of those 9 cop shows. And he was actually in, Cape Fear with De Niro. He was like one of the lawyers. you know. But anyways, yeah, seemed like a nice guy. That's too early, 70s, isn't it? Depends what day, you can ask me. You know? Just don't have to get in my car and drive to Timonium. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I'd welcome the fucking Grim Reaper. Went up the stairs right now. He's in my kitchen. Chopped my head off. Fucking landed in a bucket. But, hey. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so he's gone. Nothing we can do about him. Yeah, he's gone. Nothing we can do. More in the, what else? And the, another story involving race, of course. What else?
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all.
And don't get whiny if these clips are a little loud. I can't control the fucking playing it off my iPad. I'm sure you all heard about the South Carolina. I'm sure you've seen it because CNN has been playing it over and over on a fucking loop. The incident last week with the black female student at South Carolina school and the white resource officer. I don't even know what the fuck that means. I even asked it on Gutfeld. Nobody gave me an answer. Had a lawyer sit next to me. I don't know. Nobody gave me an answer. What the fuck is a resource? What kind of politically correct jargon is that? You mean somebody with some ethics and morals to watch the fucking scum in the schools that disrupt classes? Is that what you mean? Kind of a cop? Why don't you just say it? Resource. What kind of word is that? But you know what I'm talking about, right? Spring Valley High School in South Carolina. Well, this guy, Ben Fields, a resource officer. Again, I don't know what the fuck that means. He's a deputy of the Richland County Sheriff is what he is. And a school resource officer. He was caught on camera flipping a black student's desk over and dragging her across the floor after she was accused of being disruptive. First of all, it just opens the door to so many questions. That's how bad it's become. We have to have why are cops handling shit like this? Huh? I mean, rapes and murders, people killing each other. Really? But we have using cops now as hall monitors. We are rotting at the fabric. We are just rotting like a summer fucking squash in February. It's just coming apart, folks. In the name of what? Fairness? Get back to some ass kicking and some fucking real discipline in the home and in public. Of course, the video went viral. Naturally, what made me fucking laugh and giggle is that when you show the clip, you see, every student whip their phone out. I thought we didn't make a ruling on that. I know some schools said, they're allowed to have their phones. How did I get through school? How did we all, people my age, get through school without having 24-hour-a-day connection with our parents and shit? Because that's the excuse, What if something happens? I don't know. We'll fucking call you. How the fuck do you allow kids at that age to have their phones during class? Are you shitting me? I'll be looking at tits and ass, not learning a thing. Same thing I'm doing now at 53. But of course, the girl had refused to hand over her phone to the math teacher. That was math teacher Robert Long. So he called this guy Ben Fields in. And Fields repeatedly asked the girl to move out of her desk. And of course she wouldn't because has fucking learned nothing from her parents, if she has parents. Just has a problem with authority because no one gave her a fucking backhander in the face as a child. Yeah, that's right. That's my answer to it. I'm fed up with this horseshit. So she refused when the cop asked her to move out of her desk, and he wrapped his arm around her neck and beautiful. I call the good police work. They should use it as an instructional film and tipped her over backwards. What is he supposed to do? First of all, like I said, he shouldn't even be there in the first place. And then his dick boss, his sheriff, his boss said, when I saw it, I got sick to my stomach. Well, maybe you're in the wrong fucking business, stupid. What do you do when you see when your deputies get shot on the street? Are you the guy like the rookie puking at the crime scene behind a maple tree? It made me sick to my stomach. Really? I got a hard on when he dumped her out of the chair and dragged her across the fucking... I actually got an erection. Again, it starts at the home. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. That happened last Monday, I believe, yeah. And so Ben Fields, the resource officer, was suspended of his duties, naturally, without pay for failing to follow proper procedures. What would proper procedures be at that point? Excuse me, Lakeisha, could you please? I'll give you some bubble gum. Could you just please put down the phone and stop fucking up the class? Could you, please? Why would you? I get a feeling you're not going to see any white law enforcement in the next 20 years. You're going to see a drop like you wouldn't believe. All cops' jobs are made more difficult because everybody has a cell phone and there's cameras everywhere, but especially white ones in South Carolina. What are you, or any inner city of any city in this country? Do yourself a favor, white guys. Don't go into law enforcement because there's nothing in it for you but fucking possibility of being sued because of guys like de Blasio and Rahm Emanuel and all the other leftist suckers of Satan's cocks. But how about this? Students at the high school have now protested in favor of Fields, with around 100 students leaving class and rallying in the school's corridors, many of them wearing homemade T-shirts bearing slogans like Bring Back Fields and Free Fields. And I saw pictures of these students, and they were students of color, by the way. So we're making some progress. Some of them aren't brainwashed by all this horse shit. God bless you, kids. Speaking to the local news, this is a student, London Herald. I think he was a black kid, actually, or Indian. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. As long as he's not white, that's what's important. We just want to show that we're still supporting everything and that he's still a good guy. And probably it was a nice day out, and we were sick of fucking doing biology, let's be honest. I know I would have marched at the drop of a hat to get out of fucking class. But the kid said, we don't want to have his reputation be ruined because of something that happened on Monday. The rally lasted about 10 minutes until headmaster. What's with these terms? Fucking headmaster. It's my girlfriend's nickname in high school. And, the headmaster, Jeff Tamani, made a speech telling them that their voices have been heard. That's once the adults step in, all logic goes out the window. You know, he's a teacher, so he's probably a lefty and get nervous that somebody was defending a white cop. That's enough, kids. You've made your point. No need for honesty and truth here. Get back in your seats. Hey, eat my shorts, you pig-face whore. Anyways, what kind of talk is that? I don't know. But, in full disclosure, I looked up some more stuff on this cop, and he's had a couple previous complaints. Again, I read them both, and they sound like total horseshit. But Mr. Field, who's been placed on administrative leave since Monday's incident, he was sued in 2007 along with fellow Deputy Joseph Clark and Richland County Sheriff Leon Lott. No, not the guy with the Cowboys who fumbled on Thanksgiving in the snow. That was Leon Lott. Leon Lott, in action alleging false arrest, excessive force, and violation of free speech. Those are always the charges anytime cops are doing their job. That was back in 2007. They were sued. According to a CNN, so take that with a grain of fucking jizz, the complainant, Carlos Edward Martin, who was in the Army, was driving home in 2005 and got out of his car when Mr. Fields approached him and asked if he was the source of an excessive noise complaint that the officer was investigating. Mr. Martin claims that Fields slammed him to the ground. See, there's where the story doesn't hold up. So really, the cop asked him, are you the one making all the noise? And then he just slammed you to the ground? I ain't buying it. Ain't buying it for a second. There's a hole the size of Madonna's fucking snatch in that story. Madonna, Jesus. Okay, Lady Gaga, if you want to update it. Who gives a fuck? I'm not getting paid for this. Anyways, so apparently, Mr. Fields slammed Mr. Carlos Martin to the ground, cuffed him, began kicking him, and then chemically maced him. As opposed to what other kind of mace? Mace scones. Until his clothing was drenched and the contents of the can of mace was depleted. When Mr. Martin's wife took pictures with his cell phone, Mr. Fields told a responding officer to confiscate her phone. I think I remember this, according to the lawsuit. However, a jury found in favor of Mr. Fields. You know his wife, by the way, makes a hell of a cookie, that Megan Garrison. Anyways, so the jury found in his favor. Maybe we should look at the racial makeup of that jury. I'm sure it was totally biased for the white guy. Mr. Fields is also one of 10 defendants in another case scheduled to go on trial in January. In that lawsuit, former Spring Valley... You know what this tells me? He's doing his job. He's active. You got to know the times you're living in, folks. And former Spring Valley High School student Ashton James Reese claims he was unlawfully expelled from school in 2013. At the time, Mr. Fields was investigating alleged gang activity at the school. Oh, do you see what cesspools our schools have become under fucking jerk-off libs running it? Where all they care about is tenure for the teachers, and they don't give a fuck what goes on in the schools. By the way, some schools, like in Minneapolis, they're trying these new programs where black students cannot be suspended no matter what they do. You can punch a teacher if you're black and get away with it because of cultural differences and whatnot. I'm not making this up. Mr. Reese raises a number of allegations in the suit, including a lack of due process, negligent supervision, and a violation of the right to public education. Can't you tell that's just all horse shit? Can't you just tell from reading those charges? Again, I translate that as, a cop doing his job in a environment where a white cop doing his job or any type of white authority is, going to be questioned. The lawsuit accuses him of unfairly and recklessly targets African-American students with the allegations of gang membership and criminal gang activity. Yeah, that's what he was doing. He was just, walking up to people. I don't know. If you're walking down the hall in school, you got a fucking red or a blue do-rag on, your ass cracks hanging out, I might give you a little more attention than you'd want to. Meanwhile, Mr. Fields has also received accolades for his work with students. He was given a Culture of Excellence Award by Richland County Elementary School, where he also worked as a school resource officer in 2014. See, that's before they become little fucking punks. That's like middle elementary school. Ben has been working for the Richland County Sheriff's Office Department since 2004 and joined the School Resource Office program in 2008. So that's his so-called spotted history. Tarantino would call him a fucking murderer. But somebody has to try to, right? Bring some decorum to the classroom. It's unbelievable. We are rotting from the inside out. I don't give a shit. That's why I want a nice right wing. There's nobody right wing enough out there for me. Somebody who really. So don't go see The Hateful Eight. Remember that. You can wait a year till it comes out on DVD or 8 minutes, however quick it goes to TV or whatever. But don't pay. So this cop hating jagoff. Phone rings tonight. Yeah, it's Quentin Tarantino, and he wants to do your role on... Well, I got to think about it. I got a gig at Magoobies this weekend. I don't know if I can do it, Quentin. I think I've covered it all, kids. Good talking to you again. Yeah, The View, those ugly bitches. Black students, cover that. The debates, Tarantino. The Kansas City Royals. The death of Fred Thompson. Hope he had his reverse mortgage shit in order. I think's about it. But listen to this.
Problem? You're the fucking problem. You fucking Dr. White, onkin' jamrag, arkin' spunk bubble. I'm telling you, H, you keep looking at me, I'm going to put you in the fucking ground. I promise you. Not this time.
Well, I guess that's it. Come to Magoobies, will you? If you're in that area, even if you're not. Come on down. I got some other dates for you, too. That's this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Right? Yeah, 5, 6, and 7 Magoobies. And then next weekend, I got to get on a plane. Jesus H. Christ. Let's hope it's not Russian-made. and flying in Egyptian airspace. You heard about that too, right? I'm sure somebody farted in 33G. November 12, 13, and 14, the Comedy Club of Jacksonville, Florida. Oh, Jacksonville. You come down and get some yucks with Nick DiPaolo. And then the 28th, which is a Saturday night, one of my favorite gigs out on Long Island, the Suffolk Theater in Riverhead. It's a beautiful prison out there. I saw it on lockup. They did a whole extended stay. And then December, the 4th and the 5th, I'll be at the Comedy Scene. That's in Foxborough, Mass., home of the world-defending NFL champion New England Patriots, undefeated. They took apart the goddamn so-called brand new Dolphins. We took them apart at the joints. It was like a scrimmage. Anybody want to give us a game out there? Yeah, prick yes. Yeah, I'll be there at the Comedy Scene, 4th and 5th of December. It's a Friday and Saturday. Like I said, embarrassing enough, I have never been to Gillette Stadium. Do you believe that? I don't have that kind of money. I don't sell weed anymore. I'm doing Amway, though, tonight. I'm going to go out and sell some soap to some fat broad. January. Should I go into January? Yeah, Levity Live. You know where that is, right? It's right over the bridge. Tappan Zee Bridge, that mall. Was it the Palisades Mall? I hope I got that right. That's January 8 and 9. And 10. 8, 9, and 10. And then Zanies in January. The 14th and 15th is Zanies in downtown Chicago, and the 16th is Zanies in Rosemont. Love that city. Love it, love it. And then January 23rd, the Sports Haven, the gig I moved, is now the 23rd. That's in New Haven, Connecticut on the 23rd of January, the Sports Haven. I know, it's a lot of fucking plugs, I know. I agree.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, kids. Until next time, I'll talk to you soon, huh? Keep your nose clean and wash that filthy ass.
I won't take all that they hand me down and make out I smile though I wear a frown. And I'm not gonna take it all lying down, 'cause once I get started I go to town. 'Cause I'm not like everybody else.
I'm fucking hungry.
I'm not like everybody else.
I'm hungry.
I'm not like everybody else. Well, I'm not like everybody else. And I don't want to live my life like everybody else. And I don't want to be destroyed like
Good day, everybody.